Hello and welcome back to P Academy. So this is the example 3 under the video series bearing. So if you missed the previous part of this video, kindly check the description of this video. You'll find a link to those videos. So example 3 says, from an observatory tower a column of smoke is sighted due south. From a second tower B, 5 kilometers west of A, the smoke is observed in the direction south 60 degrees east. How far is the fire from B from A? So let's do this. So they're asking us two things in this question, which is how far is the fire from B and A. So the first thing we are going to do is to draw a diagram that represents this question. So let's look at it again. It says from an observatory tower, observatory tower a column of smoke is sighted due south. So let's draw our tower A. So let's take this point A. So let's call this point A as the observatory tower A. So this point as the A. A column of smoke is sighted due south. So this is our north, this is our south, this is west, and this is east. So if you say a column of smoke is sighted due south, that means from this point A, let me make this bigger. This is point A, that means due south down. So then this point down south is where the smoke is. So let's write it, this smoke. So we've been able to say, okay, a column of smoke is sighted due south, which we've just done. Is sighted due south. Now I said from a second tower B, 5 kilometers west of A. So that means from this point A, 5 kilometers west. So that this west is to this side, to this side. So west is to the left, 5 kilometers. So this will be our tower B, and this is 5 kilometers. So let's look at, say, from a second tower B, 5 kilometers west of A. So we've been able to achieve that 5 kilometers west of A, which is this. Now the smoke is observed in the direction south 60 degrees east. Now I've explained it in when we are looking at under direction. So if you look the previous part, I think the first part of this video, you find how to get south 60 degrees east and how to interpret it. So let's come back. Say the smoke is observed in the direction south 60 degrees east. So that means from this point B, this smoke is observed at angle of south 60 degrees east. So let's take this as our south 60 degrees east. So from this point, so that this south 60 degrees east is this angle here. So let me draw this. That means this angle here is the 60 degrees. That is what it represents, the south 60 degrees east. So if this represents 60, then automatically this is 30 degrees. Please, if you are watching the video, you might think that, okay, this is 60, this is 30, they almost look the same thing, but this is just because it is in drawing. It is in drawing, so it is not drawn to scale, but this is interpretation. So if this place is 60, then this place would be 30. So just understand that. Now this is how the diagram is. Now the question is asking us that how far is the fire from B and from A. So now this is the smoke or the fire, how far it is from A. That means they are asking us to look for the distance from point A to where the smoke is, and that is it. How far is it from B and from A? So from how far is it from B is asking us that what the distance between this point B to where the smoke is, which is this point here. How far it is from A? It is where the smoke is from point A, the distance between point A and the smoke. So that is what the question is asking us. So now what we are going to do is, so let's take the distance. Okay, how far is it from B, which is this point to this point? Let's take it as a x. Let's represent it with x. So how far is the fire from A? That is the distance from point A to where the smoke is. So let's take that as y. So let me write it here. So distance, so let's distance of the smoke or fire. So let's use fire from B is equals to X, and let distance of the fire from A equals to Y. So that would be easier for us when we represent this with X and represent it with Y. So now let's start with the first question. The first question is, well, how far is the fire from B, which is this distance from here to here. So now let's bring out, let's draw the diagram again. That is, so we are answering the first part of the question, which is how far is the fire from B. So here is a right angle, 90 degrees. And here we have 30 degrees. This is what we are looking for now, the X. We are looking for X, and here we have this place to be 5 kilometers. This is our point B. This is our point A, and this is where, okay, let's call it fire. So this is the diagram. What we are looking for now is this X. Now, since it's a right angle triangle, we can just go ahead and use SOHCAHTOA. So we can go ahead and apply SOHCAHTOA instead of maybe trying to use the sine rule or the cosine rule like we did when we were looking at example 1. So but this is a right angle triangle, it's formed because we have a 90 degree here. So we can go ahead and use SOHCAHTOA. So what we have here is, from the question, we are given the adjacent, we know the value of the adjacent. We know the adjacent. We are given an angle. And then we have the value of the hypotenuse. Okay, this the hypotenuse is what we are looking for. So with this now, we have these three values: adjacent, an angle, and the hypotenuse. So which of these do you think will work? Let's look at it one after the other. So if you decide to use sine theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. Now we don't know the value. The opposite is not given. This is not given. So that means we cannot use sine theta. So now let's look at the next one, which is cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Now let's look at it again. Look at the diagram. The adjacent, yes, the adjacent is 5 kilometers. It is given. What about the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is what we are looking for. So that means we can use the cos theta. But let's look at the tan theta also. The tan theta is opposite over adjacent. Now the opposite is not given, but we know the adjacent, and we are given an angle. So that means we cannot use tan either. So I'm just doing this to let you know that you can't just pick any of this one, either sine, cos, or tan. You must know why you are choosing it. That means if the values are given or what you are looking for. So now we've been able to establish that we are going to be using cos theta to get the value of our X. So let me rub this off so that we can start working on the question. So our cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's put in our values. So that would be cos 30 is equals to, our adjacent is 5 kilometers over our hypotenuse is X. So we represent it with X. So let's make X the subject of the formula. So in doing that, we'll have our X is equals to 5 kilometers over cos 30. So that will be 5 kilometers divided by, so let's look for the value of cos 30. So cos 30 will give us 0.8660. 0.8660. So let's continue here. So with that, our X will be equals to 5 kilometers divided by 0.8660. That's 5 divided by 0.8660, and that will give us 5.77, and don't forget the unit, kilometer. So now we've been able to get the value of our x, which is the first part of the question, that how far is the fire from B? This is the fire, how far is it from B, which is the distance from here, from point B to where the fire is. We've represented it with x, and now we've gotten the value of our x to be 5.77 kilometers. So invariably, that means the answer here, that means the distance from here to here is 5.77 kilometers, which is the first. So now let's look for the next part of the question, which is what? How far is the fire from A? So now this is what we are looking for. How far is the fire from A? The distance from point A to where the fire is, and we've represented it with y. So let's look for that. So still working with this diagram, but this time around we are going to take off this x because this is not what we are looking for. Rather, this is what we are looking for, y. Again, let's bring out the SOHCAHTOA. So now we have the angle. We are looking for the opposites, so which has to be part of the whatever we are solving, and then we have the adjacent. So we have opposite and adjacent and an angle. So what we are going to use now is tan, because opposite and adjacent. We cannot use cos because this time around we are not giving the hypotenuse. We cannot use sine because we are not giving the hypotenuse. So I don't want to go deep because I've explained it earlier when we are looking for the distance of the fire from B. So now we are going to be using tan. So let's bring it. That will be tan theta. And like I said earlier, the reason why we are using SOHCAHTOA is because this is a right angle triangle. So we can easily use SOHCAHTOA to get our answer. So tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So let's put in our values. So we are going to be having 30 degrees is equals to, so our opposite is y over our adjacent, which is 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. So let's cross multiply. So by the time we cross multiply, we will be having y is equals to tan 30 degree times 5 kilometers. So our y is equals to, so let's look for the value of tan 30. So tan 30 will give us 5774, then times 5 kilometer. So let's multiply 0.5774 multiplied by 5. So 0.774 times 5, that will give us, so let me write it here. So that will give us, as our y will be equals to 2.88, then the unit kilometers, and that is the value for our y. So with that, we've been able to get the value of our y to be 2.88 kilometer, and that is this is the solution to this question, that how far is the fire from B. So that means the distance from the fire is, the distance of the fire from B, or between B and the fire, is 5.77 kilometer, and that's the distance between the fire and point A is 2.88 kilometer. So if you have any question concerning this example, please leave them in the comments section below, and then I'll see you in example 4. So in example 4, we are going to be looking at an example that, we are not going to be using, it's not going to be forming a right angle. So we are going to be using maybe either the sine rule or the cosine rule. You get to know when you see the example 4. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and I'll see you in example 4. Bye for now.